One of the most common questions I get is how to set boundaries, like at work. What are the most important boundaries to set at work? And you might be shocked that it's actually a boundary you need to set with yourself. And in Brave Boundaries, I talk about this. I talk about it over and over, and I actually outline how to do it. So if you're really interested in setting up healthy work-life balance, for me, it's all about boundaries, not balance. You want to get the book. So go to Amazon or wherever you buy your books, your local bookstore, and check it out. But one of the most important things is a boundary with yourself, and that is with your phone or however people access you. Because the truth of the matter is that when you get in your car and drive home and you leave the building, or you shut your computer down for the day if you're a work from home person, or you walk away from wherever you are with a client or person or student you're teaching, you are responsible for your time. And even though we say, oh gosh, work is just really, it's just like a little vine that just is weaving its way into my home life or my wellness, you have to learn to set a boundary with yourself. And that starts with your phone. It's one of the most important boundaries with your phone that you can have. And if you are someone who likes to have an empty inbox, you have to have a really strict boundaries because that means that you would probably have to be on your phone 24/7 answering emails unless you're sleeping in order to have an empty inbox. So first of all, ask yourself, how am I going to have work-life balance and an empty inbox? Okay. The second thing is that you need to understand is that you choose when you answer email, you choose when you respond to text, and you choose when you answer your phone. No one is standing there with a gun to your head saying, you have to answer this email. You have to respond to this work text. You have to answer this call from a work colleague at 10 o'clock at night. You're doing that. Now, there may be unspoken rules in the culture of which you work that you do all of those things, because no one in your culture has ever set boundaries. And that is a very unhealthy place to work. It is an unhealthy place to work when leaders don't set boundaries for the people that they are leading. The best leaders set really clear boundaries, because what that does is it opens up boundaries for everyone else. So where do you start? You start with your phone. Now, I used to be the person that would answer an email in the grocery store line. I would answer email on the soccer field. I would answer email in the basketball court when I'm watching my kids play sports or at dance practice. Because in my brain, I was like, well, I'm just going to do this now and get this done. And so I don't have to bother with it yesterday or tomorrow. But the problem is that it lived in my brain and it was like a constant distraction. And I realized one day, like, I have to set boundaries for my work colleagues and the people that I work with. And I'm just going to stop answering email and stop answering my phone when I'm not at work. Because here's the thing, and I say this all the time, nobody dies over email. If someone really needs to get a hold of you, they're going to call you. And if you're on call or you're responsible, then obviously you're going to answer your phone. But emails, there's just no emergencies, truly. There's not. There's poor planning, but there's no true emergencies. And so I had to start teaching people this. And at first, nobody believed me, because I used to be the person that always answered my emails. And I started saying, I'm going to start setting a boundary for my own health. I'm going to try it out. I'm just not going to answer email at night and weekends as much as I can. So I removed my email from my home screen. I started teaching people this. And it took a while for everyone to understand my boundaries. But guess what? People stopped emailing me ridiculous things. They stopped emailing me things that they thought I had to answer that night, because they knew she doesn't answer her email. So my inbox actually got a lot less cluttered and I became more focused. And what it did was it also allowed me to be a better leader, because I stopped emailing people at night and the weekends and expecting them to answer. It's just not right. If someone's not working, we shouldn't be doing that. We should be encouraging them to be well. So when they're at work, they're fully engaged, right? And energetic and passionate and want to be there. So start with yourself and think about your phone. What boundaries do you have around your phone? What boundaries do you have around email, text, and calls? If you're loving this, be sure to subscribe and make sure that you belong to my email list at becomebraveenough.com and tell your friends.